Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon me. I gotta clear my throat already. How we doing out there on a Monday? Monday. It's a beautiful day. It's always a beautiful day. Every day's a beautiful day. As long as you believe it, it is. How we doing out there today, ladies and gentlemen? It's great to be here with you to start another week on Operation Status Quo. Of course, today is Martin Luther King Day, so I hope you're celebrating out there and appreciating freedom and such. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes in our country when a person speaks up for truth and speaks up against the system, they kill them, you know? So, unfortunately, we lost a great one in Martin Luther King, but hopefully his messages are still resonating strong with people today. And, I wish all the best out there because the messages are, he always said stuff like, be the change you want to see and such, in the world. I mean, this comes from Gandhi, but he kind of said that too. So anyway, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why we do what we do here on Operation Status Quo, because we know that our mainstream world is designed to kill us and keep us down, right? It's designed to, take away any drive or whatever we have to live true, prosperous lives. They just want to keep us within the confines of a debt-based slave system where they do everything they can to undermine our true humanity. And that's why somebody like this poor gentleman who was killed and that's why it happens, right? So don't be speaking up for yourself out there. Although I will say this, in today's world, we see how many people are starting to speak up. So it's time to take that message that he was doing back in those years and, really push it forth even more so today so that we can break free of the confines of the system that we're being kept in. So that being said, I wanted to get that out of the way. And then on a totally different note, I just wanted to mention quickly for no rhyme or reason whatsoever, but football. I enjoy playoff football, and I know a lot of people say, the games are basically scripted and such, and they're not real. I mean, for those of us that see things at a bigger picture, it's not just, I do think that there are things that are kind of done in a way to make outcomes come out a certain way and such. But, somebody was posting on Facebook yesterday saying, this game has got to be scripted because Dallas can't be playing that badly. And it was such as an Eagles fan, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give a round of applause for Dallas choking and playing like crap once again in the playoffs. It's always a pleasure to see Dallas struggle, even though we're all human and friends and I love everybody. But, from a sports perspective, it's wonderful. Hey-o. I love when he goes, here we go. All right, Prescott, here we go. That's what he does when he plays the game, right? Before they snap the ball. So, but now he's going to go, here we go, going home. Season over. So anyway, I'm a little into it. I'm actually, being down here in the Tampa area where I am. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so of course the Eagles are in town to play Tampa today, and I'm going to the game. I decided to go out and check it out, so I'll be out there tonight at Raymond James Stadium watching the Eagles take on Tampa, and hopefully, the Eagles win. But either way, I win either way because I'm living in Tampa, and so I. Whatever you're going to do. If the Tampa wins, then at least everybody around me is happy. But anyway, yeah, it'll be fun. I've never been to an NFL playoff game before, and I've never been to Raymond James Stadium before, so I think it'll be a fun experience. So I'll let you know how it turns out tomorrow. If you're interested, drop something in the comments if you want to know how it turned out, and I'll tell you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm keeping it to myself, all right? I'm tired of always saying, hey, guys, ask me some questions, and I'll tell you, and nobody asked me any questions. So if you want a question answered, you have to ask it, all right? That's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host, ladies and gentlemen. This is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And as I always say, let me know in the comments, what are you doing today to create your own flow of quo in your life so that you can live the best you that you want to be and not feel so oppressed by a system designed to keep us down, right? Okay. So what is today? Today is the 15th of January in the good year 2024. And today's program is entitled The Neanderthal Within. Yes, because I did come across some information. I like to do this from time to time, and this is a pretty good one overall. I just love our our mainstream science and stuff. This is not to like trash science. Obviously, science has a place, but they manipulate science and the things that they tell us about our true lineage and history and such, and where we really come from. But that's why it's fun for me. But we have some weird traits here which show you have Neanderthal DNA. So how you feeling out there? Do you ever feel a little Neanderthalish, in your day to day? You think maybe you have some Neanderthal DNA in you? There's a lot of people out there that are a little slow on the uptake. You know what I'm trying to say? So I would think maybe they have some Neanderthal DNA, like our Biden voters out there, people who think he's doing a good job and such, people who believe he's real, people who believe that there was an insurrection, people who believe that there was a pandemic, all this type of stuff. To me, they might be traits that, people who wear a mask especially, right? They might be the traits a little bit more so of those that have Neanderthal DNA. But let's see here what science has to say today, ladies and gentlemen, some traits that show that you may have Neanderthal DNA. So I hope this doesn't make you depressed if you fit into any of these categories and you realize that you're merely a Neanderthal, but we're not really Neanderthals anyway, but that's okay. We're not going to go crazy on that. But it does say here, in modern humans, up to 2% of our DNA comes from our Neanderthal ancestors. That's right. DNA from Neanderthals has small but detectable effects on humans today, stemming from an ancient period where humans and Neanderthals interbred. That's what a genetics experiment told. A genetics experiment, I guess, showed that we humanoids we bred with some Neanderthals. Well, sometimes times are tough. You get a little itch in your crotch. You know what I mean, for something, and it's like any port in a storm, they say, right, with the ships. Any port in a storm. So maybe back then people were a little bit desperate. They decided to get in there with the Neanderthals. But it is believed that modern humans who spread out of Africa and into Asia around 60,000 years ago interbred with Neanderthals, and the Neanderthal DNA spread with them across the world. So, all right, let's see here what we got, ladies and gentlemen, to see if you are a Neanderthal or not. Let me know. First on the list is, and there's a lot of these people out there, you smoke. Are you a smoker out there? Because if you're a smoker, you most likely have a high concentration of Neanderthal DNA. One specific part of Neanderthal DNA significantly increases a person's risk of nicotine addiction, which is ironic given that the Neanderthals were in Europe 40 millennia before tobacco first arrived. So they never even smoked cigarettes. They don't know anything about cigarettes, but they're telling you here today that if you smoke, you're a Neanderthal. It's like, right? How do they come up with these things? So researchers say that these DNA sequences may have provided Neanderthals with adaptive advantages as Neanderthals moved into new environments. But now they have negative consequences, including affecting the likelihood of nicotine addiction. So the researchers also found that a number of Neanderthal DNA variants are linked to depression, psychiatric, and neurological effects. So the study also suggests the link between Neanderthal DNA and nicotine addiction risk. Individuals with Neanderthal ancestry may have a slightly increased likelihood of nicotine dependence. So if you're out there and you're jonesing for your smokes and you're sucking them down, most likely you were a Neanderthal, back in a past life. You come from Neanderthals. You're walking around, scraping your knuckles on the ground, big hairy body, clubbing saber-toothed tigers over the head, whatever was going on back then with the Neanderthals. So if you smoke, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I'm just letting you know, you could be a Neanderthal. This is a place of service here, the Operation Status Quo. I'm a man of the people, just trying to deliver information that could be helpful for you in your day-to-day life. Another one on this list here is you have thick, straight hair. Well, look at me. I'm pretty good with that one. I don't have to worry about that. Now, when I did have hair, it was curly. I had curly hair. It was thick, but it was curly, so it wasn't straight, ladies and gentlemen. So I think I might be safe on this one. Neanderthal DNA has effects on modern people's hair. In particular, people with thick, straight hair might have Neanderthal DNA. That's right. It has been linked to variations in hair characteristics. So some people with Neanderthal ancestry may have slightly thicker or straighter hair. So what kind of hair you got going on out there? It also says studies have also shown a higher frequency of a genetic variant associated with red hair was also apparent and was also present rather in Neanderthal. So if you have long, straight hair or if you have red hair, you're a Neanderthal. Wouldn't it be easier just to say we're all Neanderthals? Why we have to, it's a shame, because now we have to, kind of really watch our backs when we go out. If you see people with long, straight hair having a cigarette or, redhead person having a cigarette, we'd be like, oh, what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with me, Neanderthal. You know what I mean? So it might not be the brightest bulb. So ridiculous. This is science, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you understand? This is science. That's we can't deny what they're saying. What's the next one on the list? You are an early riser. Do you get up early in the morning? Oh boy, because if you do, you're most likely a Neanderthal. Genes handed down from ancient people, including Neanderthals, may dictate how good you are at getting up in the mornings. Research suggests that genes related to the body's circadian rhythm, which govern when we wake up and sleep, come from Neanderthals. Research also showed that 16 variants associated with early rising in modern humans were found in genomes from a 120,000-year-old Neanderthal and a 52,000-year-old Neanderthal. That's great to see that they can live that long and be around, right? I mean, that's really nice. 120,000 years old. I mean, probably get a little bored with life after that, I guess, right? Oh, yeah, been around 120,000 years. Same old, same old. So imagine what you can see in a lifetime if you lived 120,000 years. Now, I know that they were alive, okay? I'm being funny here. Obviously, they dug up something that they called a Neanderthal, and then they did some sort of test that they say shows that if you get up early in the morning, it means that you're a Neanderthal. So that's just how they do things. Let's see. Some of the so-called clock genes associated with the circadian rhythm, which may have helped early people get up earlier as they moved into areas with greater variation in length of daylight hours. So, they also say Neanderthal DNA may influence circadian rhythms and sleep patterns that may have been influenced by epigenetic factors such as climate, social dynamics, and light exposure. People with Neanderthal ancestry may experience variations in their sleep-wake cycle. So how are you, an insomniac? If you're an insomniac, then you probably have no Neanderthal DNA, right? But if you have a good sleep cycle and you get up early, you're probably on the path of being a Neanderthal, ladies and gentlemen. So now on top of it, if you smoke and you have straight long hair and then you get up early, I mean, we're not looking too good so far. Let me know in the comments how you rate. Are you a Neanderthal? I just want to know the percentage of Neanderthals in my audience, ladies and gentlemen. Another one here on the list. We have a few more of these. It's a short list today, so just a few more of these. You have a big nose. Do you have a big nose out there? A big honker, a schnoz, the old schnozzaroonie. People want to go out there and get their nose jobs and such because they don't like their noses. I don't understand. But anyway, noses from top to bottom can be inherited from Neanderthal genetic material. That's part of the study. Research used volunteers from across Latin America and compared genetic information to photos of their faces. The research found that one genome region, ATF-3, mark that down, ATF-3, in case you haven't, had genetic material that was inherited from Neanderthals and which may have been the product of natural selection as ancient humans adapted to colder climates after leaving Africa. The researchers believe that longer noses may have helped Neanderthals adapt to the colder air outside of Africa. So I'm not sure how the bigger nose helps to adapt to cold exactly. Maybe I can see if maybe the oxygen levels are low and you need a bigger nose to suck in more air. I can understand that, but I was going to make a really bad joke. I'm not even going to go down that road. I'm really not going to go down that road. Don't they always tease like the Jewish people with the big noses? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I have to say it. I can't help myself. So maybe the Jews are Neanderthals. Maybe that's why they're so upset and why they're attacked and everything all the time. time. Maybe people have something against Neanderthals. Maybe it's not anti-Semitism. Maybe it's anti-Neanderthalism. We have to really think about these things. Just take all perspectives into light. When we're trying to decipher what's really going on in our world out there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. This is the best one on the list, I have to say, because we're talking about Neanderthals, which were how long ago, if they existed in the way that they say they did. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But this is science, so we can't argue with science. But guess what? Believe it or not, I can't believe. I can believe it. Why would they not try to slip this into the list? But you may be a Neanderthal, ladies and gentlemen, and have Neanderthal DNA if you suffer badly when you get COVID-19. Can you believe it? That's another sign that you're a Neanderthal. And you know why? Because Neanderthals aren't that bright. And if you believe in all that stuff, then that just shows that's why you're getting sick, because you believe in something that's really not true, right? Okay. But if you suffer badly from COVID-19, you're probably Neanderthal. That one I'd probably have to agree with. During the early months of the pandemic, well, I'll say the fake pandemic, but here it says the pandemic, a study found that a chromosome region inherited from Neanderthals made people more susceptible to COVID-19. People with the Neanderthal inherited region were more likely to suffer severe cases of COVID-19, including lung issues. Further research identified 4 variants of Neanderthal origin, which are believed to be responsible. The 4 variants are believed to be involved in, oh my God, I can't say that. I don't know, some sort of scientific thing. Cyclone storms, I think that's what it is, cyclone storms, which happen in severe cases of COVID-19. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened to you out there? Have you gotten a little touch of the COVID out there? Or did you get really sick? Was it a tough one for you? Don't worry, it's just the flu. But anyway, if you did, you're probably Neanderthal. And if you really believed it and you're scared to death of it, you're most likely a Neanderthal. At the very least, you are a short-sighted, shallow-minded liberal. Although I don't want to criticize liberals, I would consider myself more of a liberal. I really believe in freedom and letting people do whatever they want to do without the constraints of government and such. Unfortunately, the term liberal and all this stuff has really been inverted and turned into this whole woke thing, which is a whole nother thing, and we're not talking about that today. So I'm going to continue with the last one on the list here today, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed you struggle to get a tan. So if you have a difficult time getting a tan, I don't have a problem. First of all, I don't have a problem with any of these. Like I don't struggle to get a tan because I'm Italian. Never had COVID because I take care of my body and it doesn't really exist the way they say it does. I don't think I have a big nose. Does my nose look big? I think it's fairly proportional to my face. Early riser. I get up when I get up. I don't set my alarm. I pretty much get up as the sun comes up. So I guess I am kind of an early riser. I would sleep late. I'm not adverse to sleeping later, but I do get up. I'm usually up by 7, 8 o'clock kind of time. So I don't know how early you have to be. What's the other one? Smoking, right? The thick hair. I don't have that, so I'm good on that. And the smoking. I have smoked in my life on and off. I still would enjoy a cigarette from time to time. So, maybe it does mean that I am for all the healthy stuff I do, we still have our things, I like to have a drink once in a while. I don't mind having a cigarette once in a while, but it's not a regular thing. All right. Anyway, you struggle to get a tan. Genes from Neanderthals may affect how easily you get a suntan and whether you are prone to burning. Research, blah, 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 from the evolutionary anthropology, blah, 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 compared Neanderthal DNA to DNA from 112,000 participants in the UK. In a UK study, the researchers observed multiple different Neanderthal variants in the DNA contributing to skin and hair tones. Individuals with Neanderthal ancestry might tend towards lighter or darker skin tones, with some having some of the DNA associated with lighter skin tones and may have provided increased resistance to UV light in regions, blah, 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 blah. So it's just kind of a bunch of nonsense there. But, they did this part of this study in the UK. The UK doesn't seem to be a place, they're kind of pasty people over there in the UK, right? It's not like, my lineage comes from Italy, where you're in more that Mediterranean area with the darker skin, everybody's kind of pasty in the UK and would burn easier, I would think. So, I don't know if that's the perfect place to do the study to see how it relates to getting a tan or not getting a tan based on, you being a Neanderthal or not. But anyway, that's what we have here for us. Is there any, let's see here. I'm just trying to see. They have, they just have some more information about Neanderthals. So these were the original cavemen, the Neanderthals, all right? The original cavemen. So now let me leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen, the original cavemen. And now we see who is a caveman out there today. Are you a caveman? How did you rate on this list, ladies and gentlemen, for some traits that indicate that you have Neanderthal DNA? Do you? Let me know out there in the comments below. I'd love to know what percentage of my audience is Neanderthal, and I'd love to cater to that portion of the audience if I could. Let me know what your caveman needs are. If you want me to grunt a little bit and talk a little slower, just me talk like this. Me do caveman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YouTube channel. We do show on internet. If that helps to facilitate things here, I'm more than happy to do it. So please feel free to let me know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time as I always do. I hope we had fun with this one today. I hope you're having a great day on this holiday out there, celebrating the voices of freedom and truth. That's what we got to do. We got to keep pushing for real freedom, real truth in this crazy world. But we're heading towards it. Things are happening. So just stay positive, as I always say. Don't let the outside world, pin you down or make you feel trapped or scared or any of that type of stuff. It's all up to you to make your life however you want it to be. Oops, my phone's ringing. Who's that? Let's see here. Do I know this number? I'm going to have to decline this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the interruption, but you see that? I'm a real human being. People call me. All right, listen, thank you for your time here today. As always, I appreciate it, and it's great to be here with you to start another week on Operation Status Quo. So, stick with me. Let me know what you're thinking out there in the comments. Don't forget you're welcome here. So if you'd like to share some information or have some topics you'd like for me to discuss or you'd like to come on with me, you're more than welcome. So my contact information is in the description box below. Feel free to utilize it, or again, just drop a comment in the comments. I always check the comments, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I got for you here today. Thanks for your time. And as you know, I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. God bless you. Yeah, and until tomorrow, that's all I got. I don't know why I paused there, but that's all I got. Until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo, disengaged. Oh, yeah, and go Eagles.
Boulevard of 10 short blocks